All right, guys, welcome to the new format for Webinar Wednesdays. We are just getting our bearings here. We see a lot of comments coming in from all places on YouTube, Facebook, on the BD website. No more GoToWebinar, Brad. This will allow us to aggregate all the comments here. We'll still be able to unmute people for questions. It's just like an extra step to do that, and we'll explain how. Let's hear from David a little bit as well. If this is your first time joining Webinar Wednesday, welcome. I am Jason there on the left. We're lucky to be joined by David Rockland. And also in future webinars, we may be able to share our video so we could have a little more personal contact with each other. You can actually see us speaking, but we'll stick with the slides for now. So David, let's kind of share a little bit about this new webinar format and some of the benefits people can expect.
Hey, everybody. Hope you all are having an excellent Wednesday. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday 189. As Jason mentioned, we've been using GoToWebinar for the past 188 webinars pretty much. It was getting a little antiquated. It worked well enough for our purposes, but we thought it was time to make a little bit of an update. So hopefully this new format works well. I'm sure we'll have a little hiccup here and there today, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We've got people coming in on directly from the BD site, from the YouTube live stream, from Facebook and the Facebook group. So really excited to see how this webinar goes today.
Yep. Likewise, we might have a few hiccups. Right now, I'm going to stop sharing the slides. I just want to see what background shows David here. So I'm going to remove sharing my screen. So great. So when we're not sharing the screen, it'll say hang tight, be right back. That's kind of when we're getting things set up. All right, let's keep things moving along here. So with this new webinar format, we can broadcast on multiple social streams at the same time. So as before, we were always streaming on YouTube Live, but it was with an extra level of setup. Now it should be more streamlined for us. And also, we will post this replay on YouTube. The replay will also be immediately available after this webinar. Nothing is changing with regards to that. And we do encourage you to subscribe and join the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and click on that subscribe button. You'll get notified as soon as webinar replays are available, tips of the week, feature tutorials, and more. And of course, Facebook, we love our Facebook community. We're currently streaming on the Brilliant Directories Facebook company page, as well as in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. So if you guys are seeing us and joining us on Facebook, feel free to type in comments there. We will see them in this little module that we have where we are managing the webinar. We also encourage you to join the Brilliant Directories Facebook group as well. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. We recently surpassed 15,000 members in that group. It's such a positive and constructive community. Everyone's helping each other, asking good questions. I'm in there myself trying to contribute and assist people the best we can. So we definitely invite you to join us there, and I hope to see you there. Jim, yes, we are using StreamYard. We found a lot of people are asking about the platform we're using. We found a lot of good webinar streaming services. There was one called Webinar Jam. For our purposes, we think StreamYard is going to work well. This is the first test run with that. So time will tell. We'll see how things go with this one and the next webinar.
And also, just to address Jim's question about how to raise your hand, we're no longer on GoToWebinar, which had a raise your hand feature. So that's how we were able to pick and choose who to call on during the Q&A segments and be able to unmute your microphone. So we'll get to that towards the end of this webinar. We'll, of course, have the Q&A segment as usual. But just a little bit of a preview when we get there in the live chat here on brilliantdirectories.com/stream. You can just comment question in all caps. That'll let us know that you have a question and you want your microphone to be unmuted so that we can go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, that's good. We'll have a slide on that on how to get your mic unmuted. If you want to verbally ask a question beyond the comments, we will have a format for that there. We see Matt Brooks from the Brilliant Directories team is joining us on YouTube as well. Good to see you there in the comments. All right, let's keep things moving along. If you have a Brilliant Directories site and you haven't downloaded the Brilliant Directories app yet, take a time out right now. Go to the App Store on your phone, whether it's Google or Apple, and search for Brilliant Directories and download the app. It's free. We're pushing new updates in the coming months for this. So hopefully you'll have real-time notifications when you have new member signups, a new revenue processed on your site, and more. This is just the first iteration, but there are some cool updates coming soon, and you don't want to miss them. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Apple app or Google app to get it if you want to go from the URL. All right, and I think we're reaching a wider audience here today, streaming on the multiple platforms at once. So welcome, everyone. Why don't you feel free to type in the comments where you're joining us from, what location, what country, what city. I would love to see where everyone is tuning in from. But just for those of you joining us for the very first time, Webinar Wednesday is a great way for us to share with you some of the newer updates built into the Brilliant Directories platform. We're pushing new updates week after week. And big shout out to you guys. A lot of the updates are from things you find, suggest, feature suggestions, ideas you have, things posted in the Facebook group. And in the webinars, we try to cover some of the newer features that can help you grow your community a bit faster. So we'll cover topics such as increasing traffic, converting visitors to members, identifying revenue opportunities, and more. Generally in the webinars, also, we have a special tip of the week segment. This one does not have it because we're working the kinks out with this new webinar format. We didn't want to overwhelm ourselves. But we do have lab updates, and there will be plenty of time for a Q&A section. So let's keep things moving on. We do have some BD lab updates to share. So I'll breeze through this list, and then we'll get on to the Q&A section here. So I'll start here at the top. Those of you using ZAPIER, there is a new action. If you're not familiar with ZAPIER or Pabbly or Integrately, that's okay. More advanced users are using these third-party tools, such as ZAPIER, to send their BD data or integrate their BD data with other platforms like Go High Level, HubSpot, MailChimp, and others. In Zapier, there is a new action where you can add emails to your Brilliant Directories unsubscribe list. I'm not going to get into too much detail with this, but I'll just quickly show you guys. Let me see if I can get the screen shared properly. Here we go. If you're in Zapier, under the actions, you can now search for unsubscribe, and you'll see unsubscribe email, and then you can go ahead and create an action to add that email to an unsubscribe list. So maybe things are happening on third-party websites or other areas or other platforms you use, again, like MailChimp or HubSpot. You can pass that unsubscribe information to your BD site directly with Zapier. Pabbly, Integrately, and also those of you who don't know, Flowmatic is the newest one. We are still testing that out, yet it is still live. So if you are using Flowmatic, we recommend syncing up your Brilliant Directory site with it. And any hiccups that come along the way, we're really on top of it right now because it's the newest integration library we joined. So let our support team know or the Flowmatic support team know. All right, this next one is related to the page builder in the web page builder in the admin area. A few months ago, we created the ability to see a screenshot preview of your web pages. However, there are some users who have a lot of web pages. They're going to their web page builder off, and it was using some of their bandwidth that they didn't want to be used. They had pretty heavy pages. It was just unnecessary to load the preview there because the preview does have to visit the page in order to do that, and it was using a little bit of bandwidth. So for those of you, let me go here. I'll just start from the dashboard. Just a moment. I got myself tripped up here. Okay. So if we come here to the dashboard area and we go to the web page builder under my content, show you an example here. We'll see the system's going to attempt to get screenshots of the web pages. So if you don't need them, or you have heavy pages, or you're just sensitive on the bandwidth usage, this doesn't apply to everyone. You can now go to Edit for that page, and then Page Options. And over here under your Page Options, disable Screenshot Preview. That will disable the system from fetching a screenshot of the web page, thereby saving just a tad bit of bandwidth for you. This is, again, more for power users, heavy sites, and things like that. All right, let's go back here. This next one is related to the member profile URLs. A lot of us are familiar when a member has a profile, we have their country, their state, their name. We can kind of customize that to our liking. If you didn't know, I'll show you. But this update, you can now include the member ID in the profile URL. And I'll show you where you can do that. If we go to Settings and Advanced Settings, and a good thing to just search profile URL. And we can see here, you can actually you can include what you want in when a member creates their profile, what we want their URL to include. So let's just put a few things here. And here is the member ID, the new one. And when we're constructing the default structure of the member profile URL, you can also move these around. to be in the order that you want them to be. So in some cases, some people just want the minimum possible. I think the member name is the only default that needs to be there, but now you can, in addition to that, add the member ID. All right, this next one is related to member leads. When members receive leads, they can accept them. If you're charging for the leads, they can pay for the lead. A lead is when a consumer comes to the site and wants to reach out to one of your members. Maybe it's an interior design or contractor website, and so a homeowner wants a plumbing done or a remodel done on their home. So the website visitor sends a message to the member. That is a lead. You can sell that lead to the member, or you can distribute it for free. The members, when they receive the lead, can choose to accept or pay for the lead. They can also decline the lead. Up until now, and I'll show you where this is. This is what a lead looks like when the member gets it. In this case, it's $10. They get a preview message of what the project or inquiry is about. But if they don't want the lead, they can do nothing, or they can decline the lead. Up until now, when you click this decline lead button, it would just decline it right away. Now there will be a pop-up so they can confirm their action. Sometimes that decline lead button might get an accidental click, and they're not able to move forward with the lead. So it's just an extra step to ensure that that is the action they want to do. So that is released now, and it should just add a bit more better experience for members in the decline or purchase process. All right, this next one is related to the filters when you're searching for members in the admin area. So this one is related to the admin search. So you can filter members by their form submitted on the site. We've always had this, but it actually was a bit buggy. There were some issues with it, and we have now since smoothed those out and made it more reliable. So sometimes if you have contests or you're trying to segment members based on forms or applications or surveys they may have filled out on your BD site through the forms that you build with your BD site, you can now create smart lists and filter members based on forms they have or have not submitted. So if we go to the My Members page, search members, and we're going to do this is on the webinar demo site. We're going to do this together. Because this is an update, you'll now see a big search field here, forms submitted. The first thing we need to do is sync the data. The system will take care of everything, and just based on the size of your site, that was pretty quick. It's just going to update that. And once that sync is complete, we'll have back our forms submitted and forms not submitted fields. So if we want to search for members who have not created coupons on the site yet, we can do this, and we can search, or blog posts or whatever it might be. We can search here, and it will search for members who have not submitted that form ever on your site. If you have your your website contact us form, again, all your forms would be listed here again. So if you've created custom surveys and things like that, you can search for forms or forms not submitted here. And really the nice thing about this is then you can create a smart list, and we'll call it has not created coupon yet. So maybe your site, I'm just using coupon as an example, but maybe your site's heavy on property listings or coupon listings or event listings. You can make a list of people who haven't filled out a certain form and send them a newsletter saying, hey, it looks like you haven't created your first coupon yet. Do you need help with that? Watch this video, whatever you want to put in the email. But it's a great way to reach out to your members who have not completed certain actions on your site via form submission. So that's there for you, and it's a great little tool. All right, this next one is actually on the cusp of coming soon. Given the time frame, I'd say early November at this point, but we do have a demo to show you. When your paid members want to close or cancel their accounts, they can do so in their member dashboard area. However, currently, they can close their account only immediately. So if they paid for the year and they want to close today and there's 9 months left, it's going to close their account right away. So they're not getting the benefit of the 9 extra months, even if they don't want to renew when their renewal date is over. So what there is going to be is this option here. I have a little demo on this site here. So this is a paid plan member, and he is, let's go to his, let's say he wants to cancel his plan. He paid $200 for a year, an annual plan. So he's got a whole year left. If he goes to manage account and he clicks on close my account, and all sites have the close my account feature. There's ways to remove that if you want to, but it's pretty good. So this is what's coming soon. So Currently, right now, it just says go back or yes, close my account immediately. But this person's paid up. So to help minimize partial refunds they might request, or maybe just keep them on your site a bit longer and for the time they've already paid, they might want to undo their cancellation request. This is where this feature will come in really handy. So they can always close their account immediately. They'll lose access and privileges if they choose that. However, in this example, they're already paid through October 23rd, 2025. So they can close their account at the end of that paid through subscription time. I'll go ahead and click this. Close account October 23rd, 2025. Sure, let's continue. And when that's the case, they'll have this blue box up here that says your account is scheduled to be closed. This will all be text labels, so you can change the verbiage here if you choose to. But what's nice about this is they'll also have the option to undo this action and keep their current plan active if they want to. So rather than canceling immediately and they're gone, they can close their account on the scheduled date that they're already paid up through. And the entire time they're accessing your site through that, they'll be reminded that they can keep their current plan active. And if they go back here to the close account page, just do that together. They have kind of a similar message. Account will be closed October 23rd, 2025. They can reactivate their account now. They can undo the close action. Also, if you have alternate plans they can upgrade or downgrade to, they'll have that option here. And then also, even though they've chosen originally to keep their account open to the end of the subscription, they can also choose to close the account immediately as well if they just want just to leave the site entirely. So this will be really great for retention, giving customers a bit longer to stay with your site before they fully leave you. So this will be a great tool. It's going to be available for all BD sites, and it's just going through the final QA process. I'd expect early November release for this one. And this next one is related to the login form, your member login form. This is also coming soon. The ability to have the hide or don't show password when you're filling it in. Again, it's a very small thing, but it's very helpful for users who may need to see their password as they're typing it in, get that done a bit quicker. And what's nice is this icon here is actually a text label. So if you wanted to use alternate images, some people like the eyeball that's open or shut, or if you want to add text here that says hide or show password, you have the ability to modify this a bit, both when it's locked and unlocked, showing the password. That is coming soon as well. And then lastly here, our team is very busy working on additional text label language translation. So you can translate all the text on your BD site. However, if you want to translate it to a language we don't have prepared for you, you got to do the legwork for that. So currently you can, in one click, translate your BD site into English, French, Spanish, and German. We'll be adding more languages, Portuguese, both the Spain and the Brazil version, Italian, Hindi, and a ton more based on popularity and requests that we get. Obviously, the more the merrier. We're building a system where we can add these languages as text labels more rapidly, more efficiently, and quicker for you guys. And that will be great for a lot of people who want their site to serve a different audience besides English, French, Spanish, and German. What we can do now is we can move on to the Q&A section. I think we can star some comments if we want. If people have questions, we can help you with your website. If you want your mic unmuted, just type in questions in all caps in the comments, and we will invite you to the presentation. You can unmute your mic. I think it's going to prime you to share your camera. You can just turn your camera off, or actually it won't matter. We're not showing any faces. So just type in question and we can take some questions with you guys. Okay, let's see. Brad has a question here. Let's show this. So Brad is asking, is there a way to give them the option to turn off auto renew? Some people like to keep their service, but don't like things to auto bill their credit card, or could have an option to switch to a different plan on the date. The system is built for auto renewal. If you're using, I'm trying to think of a way. It's just if someone's on a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, the system will auto renew them. If it's a one-time payment or if they change their card on file, they could also, I know that's a little hacky workaround, but they can just put an invalid card on file or something like that to prevent or remove their card on file if they don't want to auto renew. That way, when their monthly subscription is due, they'll get a reminder saying, hey, we weren't able to bill your account because you have no card on file. And at that point, they could take action. So to answer your question, the workaround to turn off auto renew is just to remove their card on file. I know that's not the ideal thing that you're looking for, but you can instruct your members that if they don't want to auto renew, they can remove the card on file. And that way, when they want to get billed again or sign up again, it's intentional. They're putting their credit card information in again. So that would be the way to work around for that one. All right, let's see. We got another question here from Boris. Boris is asking, how do you approach subscriptions on a high level? I have a database of 25,000 users that I want to feed into the system, but not really sure what to offer as a worthy upgrade to pay. Okay. Also, how much do you charge? I have, Boris, for you a couple good shares for you. So if we go to the Brilliant Directories website, and we go to the blog section. First, we have this video on how much to charge members. I'm going to go ahead and share this in the comments for everyone. This should also go to people on YouTube and Facebook. So this is a really good, it talks about how you should price your directory, more from like the methodology of creating your pricing. And then you also asked, what to offer. Well, you have the membership listings you could pay. If they're businesses, they want to pay for visibility. But if you want to get a bit more creative, we do have another video that we did. This one is awesome. I love this. It's 15 upsells that you can offer to your members. So it's basically things in addition to their membership listing. And it can be things that have nothing to do with your directory. A lot of people are using their directories as a foot in the door, and then they're offering other services, SEO services, marketing services, other types of business services they're offering their members. The directory is just a way to get their foot in the door in a specific niche or industry. So thank you for the question, Boris. Those are two links I just shared there that you can take advantage of. Let's see. Brian is asking here, do you have any update on the different footer for logged out versus logged in members like the main menu? I can check on that. What he's referring to is in the design settings, based on if members are logged in or out of the site or they're just website visitors, you can actually display a different main menu, a public visitor main menu and a logged in member main menu. So we actually did a webinar on this. He's asking if we can have the same thing for the footer. I don't know off the top of my head, but that is a good point, Brian, and it is actually relatively simple for us to implement. Let me create a notepad here. And I know it was on the roadmap. Check on alternate footer for logged in members. And since you bring that up, I'm also going to share a video that we did for the main menu one. It was pretty helpful. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Enhance the user experience with a custom main menu link. It really talked about, so when members are logged in, like this person is logged in here, you can, instead of saying join today, you have a link that says go to dashboard or go to important places that are important for your site, like create a coupon now or create a classifieds now, and it takes them directly to that page when they're logged in. So let me share this link here, and it talks about the main menu for logged in users, and I will check on that for you about the footer menu and get some information out to the community on that. All right, let's see here. And we have a few starred questions. Okay, Doreen has a question. How will BD implement the click to cancel new law? Well, they can, I'm not familiar with exactly what the stipulations of the click to cancel law are, but your members have the ability to close their accounts. And if you're in a region where, data is super sensitive, like, I don't know what's happening every day in the EU, that it changes a bit, but something nice in your footer is like a request removal or something, and they fill out a form, and that way your team can make sure that any removal requests are handled on your site. But your members will always have the ability to cancel their accounts by default on BD sites unless you take that option away from them. That's a good question there, Doreen. Here we go. It's an interesting one. Will's asking, I want to charge for obituary post. This can be paid by non-members or members. Should I create a digital product for them to pay and create a post type called obituary? Does that make sense? What you can do, Will, is, I would create a digital product, have them pay for it. And in the confirmation page, the page they're redirected to, or in the email, confirmation email they get, ask them to reply back with the details that you need for that post and whatever, like the date they wanted, the title, the description, the character limit. I'd have them pay for the digital product and then direct them to the page where they can provide you with the information or reply to you in an email. Just make it super easy, make it make sense. So you can create a protected page. So with the digital products, this is a good point. Let me actually show you one thing. So with the digital products, you can create a web page and you can redirect buyers of this digital product. And what you can do under new web page is you can protect the page for people who purchase the digital product only, and you can choose which digital product. So in this case, it could be your obituary post or listing. That way, it's not a public page. Only people who have completed it can do it. And then, of course, you'll know who's reaching out to you. The other thing you can do actually is, and actually this makes a bit more sense, is you can use there's more than one ways to skin a cat here. So you can use the pay per post, and you can create a post type. You can clone your blog articles post type, and you can create one called obituaries or whatever, and you can actually charge them per post. So it's all built in. You can charge $5-10, whatever the rate is that you're looking for. I'll share this pay per post here in the chat with everyone, but actually I would recommend going this route. You can clone your post type and then create an entire content channel just for this type of post that you're looking to do. Okay, great. Jeremiah's asking a question here. Is there a way to search the system for specific tests? For example, if we previously used the text abc.com in code or various places, can we search and replace this text across all BD sites, including widgets? So this is a little higher level. If you're trying to search your entire Brilliant Directories database, you do have the ability to do so, by the way. Let me show you. This would be helpful not just for the domain names, but also for local. So when you change your domain name also, the system does look for any hard-coded old domain name that you previously had, the current domain name, and it will switch that to the new domain. So you don't need to worry about that. But if you're looking for other text, let me show you what you can do. You can go to your developer hub, Jeremiah. And if you go to the, let me see here, MySQL database, again, a little higher level here, but it does give you the access to do what you need to do. And it's basically going to take you to PHP MyAdmin. This is like your database here. So if you go to your directory database and click search, again, this is more advanced for developers, and you can search for abc.com. And there's a few options here. Look for, if there's multiple words, you can look for the exact string and blah, blah, blah. So we'll just say the exact phrase is a substring, and then it can search your entire database and you hit go. We're not seeing any, but if you saw results here, it'll show you the matches, and then you can click to see where it's edited and then edit it here in the database. So again, if you're asked about searching the entire system, this is how you would search the entire system: widgets, members, posts, data, and all. So good question there. A little higher level in advance, but you do have the ability to do all that here. Good question.
And we do have Mark and Michael both queued up here in the studio.
All right, let's bring Mark in here. There we go. How you doing, Mark?
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for bearing with us through the webinar. Thanks for joining us. Where are you calling in from?
Kiama, which is about an hour and a half south of Sydney on the east coast of Australia.
I think it's just about morning time there for you guys.
10:38 in the morning. It's my today is your tomorrow.
That's a beautiful name for a movie or poem. But what's your question for us there, Mark? Happy to help.
I'm currently building out my site, which is inlocation.com.au, and I'm struggling with mastering or getting my head around the sidebars and the banner ads. I'm currently attempting to populate various sites or various locations on my site to be able to see where the ads are and work out my strategy. But when I go into the widget manager, for example, the page you're on at the moment, the right header under the search bar there where you're on the window, it is it's in the widget and it says it's active, but as you can see, the lights are on, but no one's home.
This space right here. So this one requires two settings to be enabled. One for you to add it in the banner ad settings, which will be the header banner ad, and I see you have it here.
Yeah, it's just a dummy ad in there.
And then we have to go to header design and choose the search module here. What we want to choose here is the display header banner ad, because you can have search there if you want. So if we save that now, let's refresh this here. I'm crossing our fingers. There we go. So yeah, it's just a placeholder. I understand you're not going to use something this size, but yeah, that's there now. So in the header design, we want to make sure we're not showing a search module. We're showing a header banner ad instead.
Okay, and so that process would effectively be the same for everyone that I'm having problems with. I've got to go into the particular.
Where else? No, where else are you having issues? That header one is specific to making sure this setting is also pinned to the banner ad. But let's go to one more location.
Sidebars, for example, and there are extra 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that sort of stuff. And I've put things in there, but I can't get them to come up.
Great. So what we want to do here, let's go to one of your, this would be in the, if you want to add this to a sidebar, can I just go to like a member search results page here?
Go for it. They're all claims, so go your hardest.
Okay. So I noticed a few things here. Let's do show widgets. And we'll see what the sidebar is here. Oops, okay. So this is the member search results sidebar. We'll go there. And actually, let's see which widgets are here. You have the responsive banner ad, and you have the rotating banner ad as well. So in this case, if you wanted to, for example, add extra banner ad to, get the widget name here, boot responsive to, and we'll edit your search results sidebar. These are the elements you currently have in there. So we want to just make sure we grab this one here, the responsive to. I'll just put it at the top, just tentatively. Save the changes. Sure. And we'll get it back out of the show widgets mode. And you're showing an image of, it says your ad here. It's kind of gray and white. Let's refresh this page here. There it is right there at the top. So to answer your question in short, is these are the extra ones. You have to deliberately add them to the sidebars, but you can get the widget name here, and then you drop that widget into the sidebar. Right. So you can copy the last end part here, responsive 3. So if I search for responsive 3, we see it here, and I can drag that in as well.
And is there a limit, Jason, on the number that you can have? And if there's not, what do you recommend?
That's a good question. So you're showing 9 results in your search results on your. So your search results will have a height here. This is just a bigger image in the space. So you can see here you're actually looking pretty good. Your body content, your main body content ends about here on the page. So ideally you want your sidebar, it doesn't have to always be perfect, but you want it to be about where your body content ends. You don't want your sidebar to go, 5 times the length of where your content is. So I would recommend just being mindful of your main body content height. Of course, if this is a blog article, there's long blog articles and things like that. But I would just start with maybe 3 or 4 or 5 elements. And then there's another consideration is clutter. People tend to block out when there's too much noise because everything starts blending to each other. So if you're trying to draw, sometimes that's a good thing, but if you're trying to draw attention to something specific that's important, you want to drive users towards something, usually you want to reduce clutter in those cases. So just depending on if you're okay with the busyness, which is a strategy as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're looking for, to push users towards one specific action, you might want to reduce the clutter a bit.
Yeah, I just learned to make GIFs, so they were the first ones I was able to put up there, and now I don't know how to take them down. Sure,
you can disable that. You can keep the code here if you want. You can, rather than removing it from the sidebar, you can always disable the banner ad, so you can keep what you've saved here. or you can, of course, remove it from the banner ad altogether as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Good question there. And so I removed Mark from the stage. We got Michael coming up next. I'm going to just keep you there, Mark. I'm going to add you to the stage, Michael. So just be prepared here. Let's add you. And then you can choose to think, there we go. You there with us, Michael?
Yeah, I am. Great to be aboard this week.
Super.
So I think the team over at GoToWebinar, you may have been one of the last clients on the platform. I know they launched right here in Boston in the early 2000s. So, but anyways, couple of interesting questions this week. So first one was actually brought up by one of our members, our clients. They were asking, and I thought this was a great idea. Is it possible after they accept a lead for there to be the ability for them to either add notes or a status to the lead so they understand where it's at?
So this is a good question. Let's go back to, I have the lead here. So when a member purchases a lead, they're basically purchasing data. Let's just purchase this together. This is a test site. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, it almost sounds like they want kind of like a mini CRM so they can kind of keep track of what's going on.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea to at least just have like an internal note field.
Yeah, just so they could put a little note in, call the customer, what happened, or closed won, closed lost, just something for their sales team, because they're buying leads for their SDRs and BDRs. And
yeah, I think that's a really valid request, and I don't think it's beyond the too complicated to complete, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have it now, but that's a great suggestion.
I was kind of surprised when they brought that up, and maybe one step further, version 2.0, maybe some sort of reporting so their management team can see, hey, we bought 10 leads, we closed 3 of them, here's how we're doing. Like just basic reporting or something. Who knows?
I actually internal member status for their leads. Yeah, like pending,
closed won, closed
lost. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just like simple things, right? Like 3 or 4. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. And then they could filter based on. I actually like that a lot. That's great.
Yeah, got that one. I mean, we actually do a demo for every single client that we bring aboard, so that's where that came from. Second question is this: we picked Stripe for our payment method, and I know on the Stripe end of things, we've enabled all the payment methods, and we use Stripe in some other places, but on the BD checkout, it only provides the option for credit cards, as best I can see. Is there on the roadmap or some ability to accept some of the other payment methods?
Yes, 100%. That's actually what we're working on this month and next month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So which other wallets or payment methods have you enabled?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest ones would be Apple Pay, Google Pay, and then obviously Samsung Pay and I think Venmo and all of those.
We tested Apple Pay and Google Pay ourselves for checking out products through the Brilliant Directory site. We use the same Stripe as what you're referring to. I think, it's something we're looking into. So yes. And then just a side note on that, we get this question a lot that people want to use the pay later options like Klarna and Afterpay. They don't allow it for non-tangible goods, only for physical products. So it really only works for e-commerce products, like if you're buying apparel, shoes, physical products. If you say it's for memberships or subscriptions or things like that, they don't allow those pay later options, which we learned.
Makes sense. And one other one that would be huge, I think, for everybody in BD, if it was possible to accept, they offer e-check or ACH, that would be fantastic, because then you only have maybe a 30 or 40 cent fee for each transaction instead of paying a percentage of each transaction. So huge difference if you have a lot of subscribers.
You're speaking our language. I'm just going to make that's also on the roadmap. So ACH, bank/bank, and then also the Google and Apple are definitely like the immediate ones on the roadmap are these three.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just Google what are the top 3 or 4 payment methods, but I mean those are clearly big.
Yeah. Appreciate the feedback. Super helpful. All right, cool. Michael, thank you for the questions there. That's great.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Michael. All right, we got some questions here. Our good friend Colette is asking, I'd love to be able to search members by phone number in the admin panel. Would this be possible? 50/50, you can do that. Let me check. Give me a second here. Let me go back to the Be Right Back stage. I'm sure you've tested, so I'm going to be wrong on this, but that is a valid feature suggestion. Let's go to the search members page in the admin, and let's do a quick search for phone number. Thought the name field can support that. Let's do a quick search here. If not, that is a good one, Colette. Let's just to 245 and 52. I found something else with 24552, not the phone number though. Let's go back to search members. Do one more search there. So yeah, that wasn't. Let's do this string of numbers here, 5282. And if not, we'll add it to the list for features. Yeah, you can't do that there. So Colette, thank you for that suggestion. Search members in admin by phone number, either a dedicated field or use the name field. Okay. Thank you so much, Colette. Good suggestion there. Appreciate it. And let's see, David, thank you for starring these questions. Let's go to this one here. Mrs. Mookie, can videos be put in the hero section or put on the web page without them being linked to a YouTube video? Well, you can embed any video. It doesn't have to be YouTube. You can add them to the hero section. Let me just show you how. So if you have any embed code for any videos, you can add them to the hero section of a page. If you go to edit here, and if you go to hero section, you can actually have additional hero section content, and this does support iframes, whatever code. You can put your code in a widget and then call the widget here also widget equals. So again, for developers and designers, you can get, you don't have to just put your code in this little box. You could put it in a proper widget with JavaScript and CSS. So just to answer your question there, Mrs. Mookie, you can drop videos here and they don't have to be YouTube. So thank you for that question. Okay, Clayton Jackson, good question here. How easy would it be to create a job placement site with BD? So yeah, you can it's pretty easy actually. You can create, I think we used to have a demo on it, but people were just, let's see if we go to jobs.demo bootstrap. Because it's just a post type, yeah, we did have it. It was a job listings thing. Basically, you just use the job search on your homepage. You shift the focus of your homepage. You make it job search. So employers, you have two types of members. You have employers and you have job seekers, and the employers can post job openings and the job seekers can have profiles with their resume, very similar to a LinkedIn profile, their accolades, their experience, all that good stuff. And then thereby you have a marketplace of employers and job seekers, and they can connect based on the type of employment, type of job, location, and other factors such as salary as well, if that's something you're searching for. I'll put this in here too. Again, we kind of remove this as an available theme, but what it is, it's just the jobs on the homepage, the job search, and then listing the jobs on the homepage. So nothing really fancy going on here, but I'll share this in the comments for you, Clayton. Good question there as well. Yeah, all the different post types like coupons, events, properties, you can just make your homepage the main focus of that, your main menu links. You see, you link to the jobs, you can link to employers. The job seekers, you can make them hidden so you don't really see the people searching for jobs. They're the ones on the hunt, but the employers and the job openings are obviously public to view. Another thing here is obviously there's multiple ways to monetize this. The employers can also seek out the job seekers. So employers with higher tiered accounts may be able to search for the job seekers, the people who are looking for jobs, and search for them based on criteria, their specialties, and things like that, and then reach out to them. So not exactly LinkedIn, but close to a LinkedIn or something like that. All right, good question there. And let's see here. We've got more questions. This is a good one. Will's asking, can you please do a stream on how to manage leads on BD? Yes, we will do a tip of the week on leads soon. But just to make it very simple, in a nutshell, imagine you have a site of professionals, whatever industry or niche it could be. It could be contractors, it could be all business types, it could be interior designers, plumbers, whatever, lawyers. The professionals have listings. Visitors come to the site, they want to reach out or contact the professionals. And when they send that message, that is a lead, and you can distribute it to your professional members for free, or you can charge them for the lead. They get a small preview when they purchase or accept the lead. They get to see the phone number and the email address. We did do a webinar on the best practices for leads not too long ago. Let me see if I can find it. Let me search for leads here. David, I'm going to call a lifeline for you. Do you remember we did the best practices for, here we go, best practices on lead strategy. Let me share this. This was a good webinar. It's how to kind of model your leads program for your site, Will. So it doesn't go like too in depth on the technical aspects of matching leads with your site, because BD handles a lot of that and all the settings, but it does talk about how to present your leads program to your community to increase members wanting to join, trustworthiness, reliability, and things like that. All right, let's go on. We have a good question here from another one from Mrs. Mookie. I have finally chosen a niche and set up my BD. I don't have a following on social media in my niche, but there are tons of Facebook groups with thousands of members in my niche. Do you have any advice for getting members to join? If I don't have a following, one, I wouldn't spam those other groups. I would maybe increase your presence, be active, constructive comments. Don't overly promote yourself there. It kind of turns people off. And then offer cool stuff. I do like Facebook groups because it's a great way to seg people off of social into your own little community on Facebook and then out to your Brilliant Directories website. We do have a webinar from Corey Barnes. Let me find him here. And he talks about how he uses Facebook groups to bring people to his Brilliant Directories website. So not necessarily how to grow your social following, but how he's utilizing Facebook groups to tie it in with his Brilliant Directories website. So I shared that link there with you. Thank you. Good question there. And we have another question here from Tony regarding donations. I'd like to ask them 3 questions. Is there a way to ask on the donation form what charity they would like their donation to go to? Do they want to be anonymous, or can we acknowledge them? Getting additional information after people purchase a digital product, Tony, that would be right now the best way to do that would be on the confirmation page, as I was mentioning before. So what you can do is go to your web page builder and create a web page that you direct people to after they make their donation, and put a form there. You can also ask them in an email, and just make the page for people who have purchased that digital product, the donation or whatever it might be, custom donation option, and just have them fill out that follow-up form. So you'll collect the payment, whatever the amount is, and then on the next page, you can even say on the donation page, like, this is step 1. On the next page, you can designate where you want your donation to go to. So you can kind of create it somewhat of a streamlined workflow and gather additional information. I've even seen some BD sites where they're actually using it like an e-commerce, even though it's not. And on the next page, they're asking for the shipping information and all that good stuff for actual physical products. So again, it's not really built like a Shopify or an Ecwid, but you can rig it up so you can get the information you need to support that. So yeah, I would just do it on the thank you page or the confirmation page after you get the donation. All right, so let's see. Wow, we have a ton of comments here in the webinar. Let's scroll down here to the bottom. I think we're good, guys. We did good on time. We did good on presentation. We got Mark and Michael unmuted, so there is a pathway to get questions answered with unmuting you guys. Yeah, leave us comments if you like this format a bit better. If you have any suggestions for us, just put it in the comments. Anything else you'd like to add, David?
Yeah, I think this webinar went great as a test run, our first time using StreamYard. If you guys do have any suggestions, any feedback, positive, negative, really anything, we're always open to it. So be sure to leave a comment wherever you happen to be watching this video. Let us know. You could also email social@brilliantdirectories.com if you'd prefer to do that. But yeah, any feedback you have, we'll take it to heart and see how we can improve this even more.
Thank you, David. Thank you, community. What we'll do is we'll continue our same model. We'll take this replay and post it in the Facebook group. So if you want to watch a replay, you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. So let's see where we are on dates. I think that's going to take us into November. Let's see here, in 2 weeks. Yeah, it will be November 6th. So we'll see you right at the beginning of November. It's getting almost holiday season as well. Okay, great. Well, thank you guys. Great feature suggestions too from Colette. Let's take one more look at those. Check on an alternate footer for logged in members. That's great. Internal notes for leads, and also members being able to mark a status for their leads if they're working it, closed or lost. ACH, bank, Google, and Apple Pay options, and searching members in the admin by phone number. We'll pass this along to the team. No promises on timeframes, but this is great stuff, and it seems like it's all definitely possible. So with that, we'll end the webinar. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a brilliant day and a great week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.